All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome. So we are a few weeks before Chnuka. I was thinking to share a little bit some consciousness, about this time, about the time of Chnuka. We're going to read from one of the books of Rav Ashlag. Also, something that's very powerful that the Kabbalists explain. I think it was the Shmuel. He explained, that in this time, even before Hanukkah, all of the energy of this month, we can cleave ourselves with energy that called that me'al teva, to be above our nature, to be above my nature. So we know there is this type of nature that we already corrected, and it became to be my second nature. But there is the nature that actually I didn't correct it, and it controlled me. And during the day, we might using that type of nature more than the nature of the change, and we're not achieving, let's say, the full capacity of light we're supposed to achieve during the day. So then, we can feel sometimes we're missing some energy, we're tired, we're not happy enough, we're not satisfied enough, all of those things that can appear in my vessel. And then we can get some confusions, and we're trying to find different ways to solve things. But the Kabbalah is saying, in order for us to really to cleave ourselves with this energy of to be above nature, we need to make sure that we're working with the Torah, we're working with the energy of and the tools of tree of life. Okay, just to keep in mind that the energy of Hanukkah, it's very powerful. It's energy of to be above nature. But all of these months, because Hanukkah it's inside of these months, we can cleave ourselves with this energy. So we have around, I think, we can maybe 2 weeks before Hanukkah, we can already start to work on our consciousness. We can start to pay attention of what's going on during the day. What are my thoughts? Because the energy is available. Okay, so now we are in the mode of preparing ourselves to cleave ourselves with the light of Hanukkah. So one of the things in the book of Rav Ashlag, there are a few points here, and he says, when we enter into the work, the spiritual work, to cleave ourselves with the Creator, we know that we need to put effort into it. Like anything else, we need to put effort. But the effort we need to put, it's in different areas, in just in different areas, in different ways. It's not just in spiritual work, it's not just one way that I need to invest. It's like, imagine, a person say, I want to start to work out, and what he does for months or months, just, I don't know, just push-ups, that's okay? So maybe you're going to have a big chest and biceps or whatever, but he's not going to achieve the full capacity of his muscles, of his body. Okay, so it means also, we know in sport, we need to do different type of exercise to cover most of the muscles, okay, most of the muscles to start to work. So also in spirituality, the Kabbalah is telling us the same way to work in the 1%, the same way to work in the 99%, because what created the 1% is the 99%. So also in the spirituality, for us, it might seems like, it's a simple, but we find out it's not really simple. It can be simple if I'm doing the work. If I'm not doing the work, it's not simple. And what does it mean? Because one of the main goals we have, it's actually, we need to have similarity of form, to cleave ourselves with the Creator. And what does it mean, similarity of form, or to cleave ourselves with the Creator? It means we need to cleave ourselves with the attributes of the Creator. If the Creator is merciful, we need to be mercy. If the Creator is sharing and giving us, we need to share. Whatever the attributes, the good attributes the Creator have, we need to behave in the same way. So when we do that, we cleave in ourselves with the Creator. But we know we also have the opponent, that the opponent is actually telling us during the day what we suppose or not supposed to do. And unfortunately, we listen more to the opponent than we listen into the light. It means we not concentrate really during the day to do our spiritual work. And again, I'm giving examples from the world of sport, because if some of you in the past might have a trainer that trained you in the gym or at home or somewhere, or if you're doing something on the YouTube and you have some trainer and tell you, listen, you need to go do right now this amount of push-ups, and you're like, what? This is insane. No, I can't do that. No, you need to do it. This is what you need to do, and you actually insist. And you push yourself till you do it and said, wow, I did it, right? So from the point of from the point of the light telling us what we're supposed to do. We don't listen to the light. Why? Because it's easier, the Zohar says, to believe and to listen to the opponent. So to believe to the not or no or why not to do, it's easier for us than to do. Because when we have something that actually supposed to expand our vessel and to help us, first of all, we have resistance. Yes, I want more, I want to grow, I want my next level, but you know what? No. Maybe there is a different way. Are you sure? No, maybe there is a different way. No, there is a way that each one of us need to expand his vessel. It means we need to put some sacrifices. We need to put effort. He says, hishtadlut. We need to put effort. So he says, till the creations didn't achieve those vessels of cleaving themselves with the Creator, of having the similarity of form, and matrat הבריאה יכולה להיות בהתגלות עין לעין לכל. So the purpose of creation cannot reveal itself in an obvious way to everyone. So it means we can't really see in the 1% why this world been created. Because right now it's still covered. Yes, we learn about it, but it's still covered. If you go in the streets or you're talking with people not there. They're not really, sometimes we know there, right? We forgot about, why I'm here, what I'm doing here, why I'm born in this world even. We just, fighting whatever the 1% put us in that situation to fight. So he's saying, אלא היא מחויבת להיות בהסתרה, it have to be concealed, ומאחר ומה שנתגלה לנו הוא בסתירה לטוב, כל אחד ואחד מרגיש בעצמו תמיד חיסרון בטעם החיים. So he said, because of that, each one of us feel many times that we're missing something. Like in the taste of life, I'm missing something. There is some empty space. משום ככה אדם חי בתערומות על ההשגחה העליונה. So sometimes the person gets upset and angry about the upper supervision. וקשה לו לומר שהוא נהנה מחייו, and it's hard for him to say that he really enjoying his life. ולהגיד כל היום, ברוך השם, and to say all day long, thank you, the Creator, thank you, God. I really, really appreciate and say thank you for everything that you're doing for me and the way you treat me, always with good and good and good, right? So he said, in that time, you find that the person is walking always in this world, that he have a lot of empty spaces and pain. והוא מתעורר לחשוב על מתת החיים, and now, because of that, he's something been awakening again in him to think about the purpose of life. And he's thinking about, what actually I'm earning by me, like having all of those pain and suffering in my life, all of those empty spaces that I'm fighting against life instead of enjoying life. אז היה רואה יותר ויותר שאין טעם בחייו. So you see more and more that there's no taste to his life. Like, I don't know, nothing is working. Nothing is working in the way I want it to work. Or I thought it should work. הגם שכאשר הוא טועם מעט תענוג, but sometimes he tastes a little bit of pleasure. אותו התענוג משקר אותו והוא מאבד את השכל והדעת שלו, ושואל לחשוב על תכלית החיים. And so that pleasure even put him in a place that he doesn't really think about the purpose of life. So he's so excited about this pleasure, he forgot about, to ask the question, what is the purpose of life? Why I'm here? What I'm doing here? אבל בו ברגע שהתענוג שבו היה שקור מסתלק ממנו לכמה סיבות, but that's because of few reasons, this pleasure disappeared from the person's life. מיד הוא חוזר לחשוב מחשבות על תכלית החיים. So right away he go back and have the thought about what's the purpose of life, what I'm doing here, why I'm suffering so much. Why not in working the way it should work? כי בזמן שאין לאדם במה לפרנס את גופו, היינו ברגע שאין הוא מרגיש הנאה. He says, when at the time the person doesn't have a way to sustain his body, but what does it mean to sustain his body? It means that he feel the pleasure of life. תכף הוא מתחיל לחשוב על מטרת החיים. Right away he started to think about the purpose of life. Why is here? What I'm doing here? היינו, הוא שואל את עצמו, מה הטעם בחיי ולאיזה תוכן נולדתי בעולם? He asks himself what the taste of life and why I been born in this world. Why I even born? וכי הבריאה מטרתה הייתה סבל ומחוב. Like the creation been happen because it want to cause us pain and suffering. So now the person is actually raising his head from all of the problems of life and what's happening in the world, and he start to deal and to think about the real purpose of why he's here. What is the purpose of life? ובשביל מהי, אז הוא רואה ושומע קול כרוז מלמעלה שאומר לו, שהעולם נברא כל הכוונה לטיב נברא. And then he can hear, he can connect with that voice from the upper world that says that the whole purpose of this world is to do good to his creations, אלא שבכדי לטום טעמה של הטבה הזו אומרים לו מפי ספרים וסופרים שיש לכך תנאים, but in order for us to connect and cleave ourselves with that benefit, to that the creator just doing good with his creations, and to taste and to feel that good, he says that he can hear that people telling him, also it says in the books, and the Kabbalist is saying in different ways, that there are conditions. It's not happening in an automatic way. There are conditions. אשר תנאים אלו הבורא דורש יקיימום קודם. So the creator asks from us to first fulfill those conditions, ובלא זה אין הוא רוצה לתת את הטוב והעונג. And then he will give us the pleasures. If we're not fulfilling those conditions, the creator cannot give us the good and the pleasures. And I'm skipping a little bit, and Rav Ashlag saying, what was the purpose or the consciousness that the Greek have the control upon the Israelite? And here he says, the main point of our spiritual work is to be above nature. Above our nature. And that consciousness, it's about our logic. He says, so now we can understand what was the purpose and the consciousness of the Greek that was against the consciousness of the Israelite. Because the Greek, they just think you should follow your thoughts, follow your brain, and invest more in your body, the body consciousness. It was also in their mind and in their heart that you should invest more and more in your body consciousness. מובן מאליו שבזמן שדעות אלו שלטו עם ישראל כשהיו רוצים ללכת למעלה מהדעת ולא להסתכל על מה שהשכל החיצוני מחייב, and in that time that they control the Israelite, or even the Israelite to want to go above logic, they couldn't, because they control their consciousness. הם לא יכולים. זה עניינה של מלחמת היוונים. That was the war against the Greek. אשר אז מתחילה העבודה האמיתית. Now, the real work start. Because we know, when we're talking about that consciousness of the body consciousness, it's not just in this time of Chnuka. Chnuka was the revelation that the Israelite could transform that consciousness and to give back the control into their hands and to their mind and to their soul. But this is the entire year we know that our opponent, Satan, this is his fight. He wants us to believe, to invest more and more in the body consciousness. Body consciousness means just in my body. One, of course, they agree, they want to look beautiful, to just this, to do everything that they can to invest in the body. but also in the 1%. It's ready with the 1%. So the more I give the trust and my consciousness to the 1%, then I believe more and more in the 1%, and I start believing in the Creator. So then it means I'm stopping to invest in the attributes of the Creator. I'm not behaving with the good attributes of the Creator. So it means I'm not connecting. I'm not cleaving myself with the light. Then it will be, you think, harder or easier? Of course, it will be harder and harder and harder, because then the 1% consciousness is controlling me. So that fight or war against the Greek or consciousness, it's the whole year long. In this time, these months, and especially in the time of Chnuka, we have the opportunity to cleave ourselves with the light of the Creator, that light of wisdom, and to transform ourselves for the entire year. For the entire year. But first of all, I will see that I'm in a war, and I will see that actually I need to fight back, and to find the right tricks, not to believe to that consciousness of the Greek consciousness, the consciousness of the body, to transform myself and to keep myself with the intention of the good attributes of the Creator. And says, and now the real work is starting. עם ישראל רוצים ללכת לבלות על המסילה, הולכת לדבקות השם, because Israel, they want to cleave themselves with the Creator. ודרך הזו נקראת אמונה למעלה מהדעת. And that consciousness is called certainty above logic. When I want to cleave myself with the Creator, it's called certainty above logic. והיוונים לעומת זאת רוצים לשלוט על הגוף, and the Greek, what they want to control the body, they want to give all the energy to the body, שלא יוותר על שום דבר אם הדעת אינה מסכימה לו, that the body is not going to let go of nothing. He will receive everything, even though the higher consciousness doesn't approve it, that he should have it. No, he should have it. ופעם זה גובר ופעם זה גובר, and that fight, sometimes the body consciousness is winning, sometimes the consciousness is winning. לכן עניין הדעת גורם באדם עליות וירידות, and this is why it creates sometimes in the person ups and downs all the time, ups and downs. לא בזאת לבד נוהגת המלחמה, גם לאחר שאדם כבר החליט שצריכים ללכת באמונה למעלה מהדעת, אבל זה זכה ובאה לו התרועות מלמעלה והתחיל להגיש. So he said, when the person, he have the understanding that he need to have that fight, and he need to connect and to have that certainty above logic, and to have that belief, strong belief, emunah, certainty. He's saying he received now awakening from above, and now he start to taste the work of the Creator. We need to taste, to feel it. What is the taste? To work toward the Creator. מתעורר אז טבע האדם שאוהב את המנוחה. And now, when the awakening, it's the energy that the person love the resting. Remember what was in the endless? We received everything. So Rav Ashlag mentioned it in different places, that we love the resting. We want to achieve our goals and everything by resting. Resting doesn't mean just to sit and to do nothing. Even in my work, I'm looking for the most comfortable way to achieve my goals. So it's also resting. So it means it's in my consciousness. I'm not going all the way to cleave myself with the Creator. I will look for like different ways to make it happen in my way. It will be easier for me to connect. If there are laws of tree of life, I need to follow the laws. It's not my laws. There is laws of tree of life. So when I have that consciousness in my mind, it means I'm looking for the resting place. Okay? It's called menucha. So it means, לכן הוא אומר, ברוך השם, שוב אין אני צריך לעבוד את עצמי לקבל את עבודת השם. So now, so now the person connect with that idea of, he says, thank God, right now, I found this consciousness, so I don't need to cleave myself with the full certainty above logic, because right now I have already the good feeling. I have the fulfillment. So I got it. וכבר דעתי מסכימה לקבל על עצמה לעסוק בתורה ומצוות, and I accept the idea that I should work with the Torah and with the precepts and do my spiritual work. היות שאני מרגיש נייחא דרוחא בעבודתי, because I feel the energy from my work. But what happened with that? He's saying, והאדם מקבל את התעוררות הזו כבסיס ויסוד עבודת השם. So the person thinks that because what he feels, this is the foundation of his spiritual work, to work toward the Creator and to cleave himself with the light. He says, היינו על הטעם שהוא מרגיש עכשיו, because right now he feel that taste, he feel the fulfillment. עליו הוא בונה את כל העדות שלו. Now he built all of his trust on this feeling. All of his belief on this feeling. כי הוא מרגיש שקיום התורה בנזמות יביא לו אושר, because he feel that the work of the Torah and the precepts will give him the joy. And now he says, אלא שבזה הוא פוגם באמונה. He says, but with that consciousness, he create damage in his belief, in his connection with the Creator. And why is that? It's a little bit deep, this consciousness, but let's see if we can actually grab it and take it, because we want to be above our nature. How the opponent tricked me, and I feel, no, but I'm connected, I feel good, I feel the light, right? And now I know I should do it because I feel good. He says, no, we create, now it's actually, we disconnect ourselves from the real certainty in the Creator, אמונה. He says, כי בעובדה שהוא שמח כשכעת אין הוא צריך יותר לאמונה, because he is happy because of the feeling, so he doesn't need anymore to work on his certainty above logic. בעצם הוא אומר, so what he's saying actually, he says in different words, חבל שלא באה לי התעוררות הזאת תכף שהתחלתי. I wish this consciousness came to me when I started to do my spiritual work, ולא הייתי צריך ללכת בדרך של האמונה למעלה מהדעת, and I didn't need to do this hard work of certainty above logic, שהיא עבודה קשה מאוד, because it's very hard work to achieve that level, להיותה נגד דעת הגוף, because it's against the feeling of the body. We're going back to the body, because feelings relate with the body, not with the energy of the soul. Okay, when we have the consciousness again of my feelings, I have again the consciousness of the body, not the consciousness of the soul. So without, it's happened so fast in our brain, we don't even think about it. It's like everything like going so fast. Here it's like he's open it, for us to see it, because everything is very fast in our thoughts, in our feelings. והנה הפגם הזה שהוא פוגם באמונה הוא הסיבה האמיתית שגורמת לו אחר כך את הירידה, and that damage that he created with his certainty, that's the real reason that he started to fall, but he doesn't see that he's falling. מטעם שהיסוד שלו נבנה כעת על בסיס של הנאה ולא השפעה. And this is something very powerful. This is something very powerful that he's saying here. And he says, because now his foundation been built right now on the pleasure and not on the sharing mode, on the influence mode. Because remember, one of the attributes of the Creator, it's to share. If I want to receive, I need to share. But if I have that consciousness just of receiving, of pleasure, so right now, I'm not in the mode of where? Of sharing. And I'm losing that connection with the Creator. And he's saying, so now, a person has to believe more about pleasures and not about sharing. So now his foundation been transformed from actually sharing and giving like the Creator, and now we can receive, and now we have the fulfillment. That's fine, but you have to, that's fulfillment. You need to give me that the consciousness of like, oh, I want to do more. I want to do more because I want to expand my vessel. I feel the light. I want more light, more light. So it means I have more certainty in the Creator, and I'm going above my body nature, my consciousness of my body nature. But he says here, many times what's happened to us, we fall into the illusion of the pleasure, and we feel we're already there. This is the trick of the opponent. And we're losing that certainty above logic. And then what's happening, we feel to do less and less, because we can work with this pleasure for a few days even, but then we're not doing. So he's saying, okay. If the person will stay with that foundation, he never will reach the level of cleaving himself with the Creator. משום שככל שיוסיף ללכת כן ייפול הכל לקליפות, the more he will do just for his pleasures, he says that energy will go to the klipot and he will fall to the klipot. של הרצון לקבל לעצמו, it will go to the klipot of the desire to receive oneself alone. לכן מביאים אותו מלמעלה לידי ירידה. And this is why they bring the person from above many times that he will fall. Because when we are falling, now what he says before, remember he says when a person falling, now he actually start to ask, just a second, why I'm here? What the test of life? Why it's happened to me? But if I just feel the pleasure and I start to believe in the pleasure, then everything go to the klipot. So from above, they don't want the person to give everything to klipot all the time. They will create a situation that the person will feel as he's falling. And now that falling, it's supposed to be a wake-up call to stop and say, just a second, recalculate. What's going on? What I'm not doing in the right way? Where is my thoughts? Where is my belief? They're really like working toward the Creator. I'm working with the attribute of the Creator, or I believe more in my feelings. I believe more in my body consciousness. And I think this very powerful consciousness from Rav Ashlag, can help us, especially now before Chnuka, to start to prepare ourselves before we reach in that level of really receiving in those 8 days of Chnuka all of the blessings that exist in the cosmos of being above our nature and miracles and wonders for the entire year, and also not just for us, for the entire world. So, B'ezrat Hashem, I wish all of us to take, that consciousness and to start really to check ourselves, what's going on. This month, things are in a more clear way. We just need to be present to check what's going on. What are my thoughts? How I'm operating with those thoughts, my belief, my feelings, my body consciousness. Just be aware. Be aware, and because if I'm aware, I can choose. If I'm not aware, I'm continuing with life, instead of me pulling life to me, life pulling me to them, and then I'm just running after things, and I'm not pulling them toward to me. So we need to understand, to remember actually, when I prepare my vessel, that will fulfill. My job is to prepare the vessels. So let's work toward that goal to cleave ourselves with the Creator. It means to build those vessels that they are ready for the light to be revealed and help us to be above our nature. B'ezrat Hashem, good luck for all of us. So let's open our mics and wish Shabbat Shalom to each other. Also, something I want to remind everyone, next week, Thursday, it's a week from now, Michael and Monica will be here in the center for a spiritual hungry. And I hope all of you really pushing yourself to be here and to be with us and to register. They're not coming here every week. They're making the effort to come and to share with each center. They come in here, London, LA, they're going around the world to share with each center. So really, 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 I think it's an amazing opportunity to bring new people, not just to come by yourself, because it's open for everybody. It's spiritual hungry. It can speak to each soul in this world, and they don't need to study Kabbalah to listen to the podcast. So please, put all the effort, all the energy, make sure you're coming, make sure you can bring it, even one person, we just talked about sharing. The light is a sharing mode, right? Just share with your friends, invite someone with you to receive some, consciousness about the light of the Creator. Okay? So let's share Shabbat Shalom before this
wonderful
Zoom.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much.
Shabbat Shalom.
Baruch.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Hope to see all of you
Shabbat
very
Shalom,
soon, guys.
everybody. See you soon.
Shabbat Shalom.
Bye-bye. All the best.
See
Shabbat Shalom.
See you next week. I'll be
Shabbat
on
Shalom.
stage,
Thank
guys.
you.
See you next
Shabbat
week.
Shalom. B'ezrat Hashem, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.